Today I'm at the Riparian Preserve in Gilbert, Arizona. A place that's not only beautiful, but it has a story worth talking about. What's so special about it? Because this entire place would not exist if the city did not repurpose what a lot of people would throw out, and that's wastewater. The city takes wastewater, cleans it, and uses it to create this green space in the middle of the Arizona desert climate, which if you've ever visited Arizona or you've lived here, you understand that is not very common to come by. Here's why that matters. In life, oftentimes we try something once, we fail, and then we decide it's never going to work. We throw it away, like wastewater. But what if the problem isn't what you were doing, but the way in which you were using what you had? This place is proof that when you take something, you clean it, and you repurpose it, you can create something thriving. It's just an analogy, but it represents the bigger problem and the bigger kind of scope when you think about things in your own life. You can apply it to any aspect of your life or whatever's going on right now. See, the thing is, I spend a lot of time online, and unfortunately, I found myself kind of reading a lot of the comments and things too. I don't often make comments, but I observe and I see how a lot of people talk about themselves, and sometimes how they talk about themselves that gets projected onto other people. I get it, right? Like, it's hard to have a quote unquote failure, have something not work the way you want it to, and then to keep going, right? Especially if something embarrassed you or other people see that or whatever. I mean, there's so many reasons that can stick with you and make it difficult, right? I'm not saying that this is easy. What I'm saying is that the only way that you lose or that you feel like you're actually stuck is if you stop trying. It's as simple as that. Now, I know this may sound cliche for a lot of people. You probably hear something like this from time to time, but there's a lot of truth to that. See, it's very rare in life when people try something the first time and they just get it right and they never have any issues with that. I'm not saying people don't get lucky. Sometimes people do get lucky, but it's not every day. It's not every task. It's not every aspect of their life. For every one thing you see someone do great, it's more likely that this person had a lot of setbacks, a lot of failures, and a lot of lessons along the way that they had to overcome and keep going throughout all that. And that's what the whole point of this video is. We as individuals have a lot of strengths, gifts, and things that are unique to us that give us unfair advantages, but we don't see those because we spend so much time looking what other people have, what we think they have, and we think we don't measure up. So when we see someone succeeding and we try something once, we have this expectation in our head that's typically based off of other people's success, and it doesn't work, you get discouraged. Then you don't want to try anymore. And you get to the point where you think that your gifts and your unique advantages and things you have in life are just wastewater. So you toss them aside, you beat yourself up, and you do not give yourself credit for the things you bring to the table. No matter what it is you do in life, it's always about being consistent and about improving day by day. And not only that, sometimes it's also about seeing what fits. Sometimes I find people in situations where there's nothing wrong with them, but essentially I feel like I'm watching them trying to take their right shoe and put it on their left foot. There's no amount of wiggling, there's no amount of adjustments or anything you can do that's going to make that feel right. It may get on, you may be able to walk, but it's always going to feel like something's off. Instead of beating yourself up or sitting there saying that any one single failure, any single thing that you had in your life that didn't go right is going to dictate the rest of your life, look at that as saying, hey, you know what? Like, maybe I need to take this shoe off and put it on the right foot, AKA meaning you need to get to the right situation. Maybe it's not that you need to change anything about yourself or that you need to change your habits or what you like or what you bring to the table, but it's just that you're in the wrong situation in which you're applying these gifts. You can either look at it as like your gifts turn into wastewater, you discard it, you don't give any credit, or you can repurpose that and turn your future into something that's thriving like this. It's really as simple as that. It starts with not beating yourself up and being nice to yourself in the way you talk. And you have to do your best to stop comparing too, because a lot of times online, I don't think people mean bad, but I see this time and time again where someone goes through a situation in life, especially like relationships, right? It doesn't work out with them and that person, and they get upset. Rather than kind of looking inward and kind of doing what I'm telling you here in this video, and then take this, make some content online, and you project some of the things that you saw as failures, you saw things that didn't work too. So then other people are kind of on the fence of trying again or beating themselves up. They read your message, they hear your message, and they think, you know what? This person had an experience like me too. Forget all men, forget all women, everybody's bad, and you just dwell in this negativity instead of understanding that, you know what? Maybe the situation you were in before wasn't perfect for you or that other person. But that doesn't mean there's any fault of any person in there. It just could have been a misalignment. So instead of sitting there and beating yourself up and saying this one experience in your life has then determined the rest of your future, look at that and say, you know what did I learn from that? Who do I feel like I am on the inside? What do I actually enjoy doing in my life? And then take that and try to apply it to the next thing. I guarantee you, especially if it comes to relationships or anything else like that, just because it didn't work out with you and somebody else does not mean someone else isn't going to look at you as a valuable treasure they've been waiting for their entire life. Once again, you do not usually get things right off the get-go. Heck, I'm a person that sometimes people look at me and think I'm just naturally the way I am, but they didn't see the decades that I had of failure, of sadness, of beating myself up, feeling like I wasn't good at things. They didn't see how many times I got it wrong before I got it right. It's the iceberg theory, right? You got the 10% on top, and you got the 90% on the bottom. People only see the success and what's actually sticking out on the surface. Most people are not like that. Most people have a lot of issues and things that they have to work through before they become great themselves. If you're watching this video, I do not doubt for a moment there's the greatness within you, but you can't sit there and dwell on all the things that you think are negative, that you think are disadvantages, because those disadvantages that you label like that can actually be advantages for you in your life. I believe that, and I've seen it time and time again. The amount of times I talk to people that beat themselves up about things, and all I do is reframe exactly what they're saying back to them. I don't create a new skill set. I don't create a new situation in your life. I'm just telling you, hey, you think you're not good in this aspect, but you are. Flip it around. And I know people that love this aspect of you. It's all perspective. In fact, a lot of things in life are perspective. And that's really kind of why I like to talk about this and talk about thought-provoking ideas, because it's not always about reinventing the wheel. Sometimes it's just about taking that wheel and rotating it and putting it on another part of that car. Do not beat yourself up. I'm not saying that you're going to get to a point where you never feel bad or you never have hard days. We're all human, you know. We all are going to have bad days sometimes. There's no such thing as perfection where you can avoid all setbacks or difficulties in your life. But trust that some of these things that you may be negative toward yourself, or you may sit in there and think that this one moment or these couple moments in your life are going to dictate your future. It's not true. There's a lot of value in you. Everyone, and I mean every single person in this world, has some type of unique advantage. So focus on finding that instead of focus on how you think this is actually holding you up. So I promise you it's not. So next time you look at something in your life and think it may be wastewater, stop for a moment to think if it's something that can be cleaned and repurposed. You never know the possibilities it may unlock for you in your future. If this video helped you at all, please go ahead and drop me a like below and consider subscribing for more similar future content. Take care for now. See you all in the next one. Peace.